my beautiful darlings. It is so nice to see you, and happy midsummer. If you know me at all, you know this is one of my very favorite holidays of the entire year. It is Midsummer's Eve, and I'm here with you on Magical Monday. And it is so magical. It is literally that moment, that precipice of Midsummer's Eve. And so I don't know about you, but I can feel the magic in the air. I can feel the flight of the fairies. I can feel the summer solstice upon us. Tonight being the shortest night of the entire year in the Northern Hemisphere, and tomorrow being the longest day. And technically, I think it is going all the way through the 22nd this year. So we have a lot of power in the field right now, and it's a little overwhelming. I have had a lot of people tell me that they have had headaches today. I think we're getting what I would call light codes. So if you're feeling the energy as intense and strong and powerful, choose to tap into it. Choose to be like, oh, there's intensity. How do I make a shift? There's some intensity. How do I bring the magic back into my life? So take a deep breath with me and just breathe in the idea that when I feel intense, I can see this as an opportunity for change. When I feel kinetic or phonetic or chaotic, I can recognize that there's something inside of me that is ready to be some upgrade. And when I feel that there is something being torn down, I can actually see that tower moment as the beginning of a phoenix rising. So as an always evolving change agent, which is kind of my job as a spiritual activator, I recognize in myself all the time that I am constantly in a state of evolution. In fact, I even pulled the evolution card today out of my Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. And I feel that evolution all the time. And so that means that there's a constant state of burning down old limiting beliefs and rebuilding feelings, beliefs, neural pathways that have never existed for me before. Changing things that are on the level of my family line. And I really believe that's what we're here to do. We have human evolution. I just read an article on how there's physical proof of human evolution. Our bodies are physically changing. We are no longer getting as many people born with wisdom teeth. There's extra arteries coming in. We are literally having one of the most rapid rates of physical human evolution, and the spiritual evolution is rapid. It is an active power source on this planet right now. And we have to remember that it's evolving within us. Change is happening right here, right now on planet Earth at a rapid rate. And so lean into it. Look at yourself as a pioneer, a spiritual pioneer. As a spiritual activator, that's kind of how I like to see myself. And I think that that's true for you too if you're here watching this video. So if that is true for you, instead of seeing change, which we as humans do not like, and especially I'm a fixed sign, I'm a Taurus. I don't love change as a Taurus. And I have a Virgo moon and a Virgo rising. So I'm like triple earth. There's nothing more like stay put. And yet I'm in the transformation industry. I am a healer. And every time we heal something, we're healing it for our family. We're healing it for consciousness. We're healing it for humanity. We're healing it for ourselves. And we're evolving. We're transforming. We're becoming something we've never been. We're alchemizing on a physical level. We are alchemizing that change. That's shamanism, right? And that's what we call magic, right? So when I say today is a magical day, I mean today is a magical day. And I mean tomorrow is too. But two of the most powerful days of the entire year are the summer solstice and the winter solstice. And I mean, I'm super excited because exactly 6 months from now on the winter solstice, I'm actually leading a trip to Egypt. So if that's something you want to do, is see Karnak on the winter solstice, where the light comes through Karnak and lights up through the columns, private message me and we'll get on a call and we'll see if that trip is for you. But in the meantime, this summer solstice, these days right now, what I would recommend for you is to see what it is in your life that you are ready to alchemize. What is it you are in your own sphere of change? And I love it as if you would think of it as an alchemy. What is it you are transmuting into gold? What are you turning into a better version of you? And when you do that, when you settle into it, you're actually starting to express magic. And it is the day of the fairies. There is magic afoot, and there is a spirit alive today, tomorrow, and into Wednesday. So what is it you're making? What are you magic making? When we're remembering we're worthy of magic, it's easier to call it in and to call it to you and magnetize yourself as the form. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to become something else other than allowing yourself to be your own best friend, allowing yourself to be your own best change agent, allowing yourself to grow. It's high growth season. It's the full bloom of summer. There is nothing more potent than the energies of right now. And so, as usual, what I would say to you is dig deep into the frequency. Dig deep into the feeling of this is already mine. Already mine. You don't have to go hunting it down or looking for it. You get to look for the synchronicities. You get to choose what you want to experience and allow it to change, allow it to come in, allow it to frequent towards you with a magnetic pull. And in doing that, I want you to look at the world with eyes of wonder. I want you to look at the world as if and through the eyes of a divine child. So to me, this is a time of playfulness. Go outside, blow some bubbles, go splash in the springs. I just got back from Mount Shasta and we were playing in the spring water. We were, walking through the spring and the stones and letting the water, and we were splashing and laughing and finding the joy. Life is full of seriousness. Life is full of heavy duty matters, and the last few years have been really heavy duty. I'm going to ask you to be inspired to play. I'm going to ask you to be inspired to go get some nature. I'm going to ask you to be inspired by that youthfulness, that freedom. One of my core values is freedom. Time freedom, money freedom, spiritual freedom, emotional freedom. And for me, that means I can serve. In fact, I serve at my best when I'm at play. I serve at my best when I am rested. I serve at my best when I'm connected. And I do that a lot through nature. I had a vision today of my own. It was in a room, and it was like a library. There was books and things all over. It was like the Akashic record room or something, but it was my own little library of the Akashic record room. And there was this desk there, this humongous, massive desk, and it was just covered in papers, things I was reading, things that people had placed on this desk. And it was like a metaphor, because then we had it all cleaned up. I was cleaning off the desk and putting everything away and sorting it out and throwing away things that I no longer needed. And on the desk were these crystal stones, like runes that had been thrown onto the desk. And it was sort of like my next steps, my meaning of life, my purpose, and the next stages. And the metaphor was that all of the next things I needed to do were already in front of me. It was all laid out in this beautiful map, this beautiful knowledge, but I wasn't holding the crystals. And I'm going to just bring a crystal into, like, there's a metaphor of I wasn't holding the crystal. I wasn't looking at the crystal and meditating. I was covered in, I got to learn this, and I gotta fill out that, and I gotta do all this paperwork, instead of holding the crystal with the knowledge that's already mine and making those next step forward. So is it more fun to play and meditate and be in the energy of the crystal reading that's all laid out in front of me? Or do I want to get all caught up in the books and the brain candy and the stacks of papers that other people had put on this desk? That was the metaphor of the vision. And I feel like that's sort of the same metaphor for you. What do you have that's junk covering up the magic? What do you have to clear to have a clean slate, to play, to meditate, to get out in nature? There's no better time than the middle of the summer, pretty much anywhere you live. I mean, even if you live in Alaska, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the time to get outside. This is the time to connect to the nature divas. This is the time to come into recognizing your own soul seat and your soul self and your own higher self. There's no better time. And by covering it up with all the junk, by placing, I've got to learn this, and I've got to write that, and I've got to do this, you are covering up the magic. You're covering it up. And instead of recognizing that there's codes, this is a Lumerian crystal. I don't know if everybody knows what a Lumerian crystal does, but these are actually coded crystals. There's lines in the crystal that actually gives messages. It says that the Lumerians put all of their knowledge onto these crystals for those of us to read. And so I picked up quite a few of these crystals in Mount Shasta, and they're all there. The messages are all there, but have I taken the time to sit and message myself and meditate with the messages? And the other thing that's also said about Lemuria and the ancient future is that time isn't linear. I don't know if you realize this, but quantum physics is proving this more and more. Time isn't linear. It's actually a spiral. And it's all happening at the same time. Right now, we are in the middle of everything that's ever happened and everything that will ever happen. And so did the future version of me send this? The past version of me send this to myself? So the point of this was I already have the knowledge. I've already given it to myself. I just need to sit with it. And I think that's true for you. Your ancient future knowledge, your past, present, future knowledge is all within you. You just get to allow it to come forward, and instead of getting all caught up. So play. And one of my ways to play is I have these beautiful heart-shaped teacups. And right now it's got fairy food in it. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to actually bless my house. One of the best days to bless your house. I have rose petals and fairy food, and this has fun little things like lavender and sage and blue butterfly tea and jasmine. So I'm going to be taking the cups that have all the herbs in, and I'm going to be placing them around the house and thanking my trees and thanking my bushes. So make yourself a little ritual over the next few days and actually bless the nature spirits that are surrounding your land. And even if you live in an apartment, I actually was outside more when I lived in an apartment because I would go to the park. I would find lakes. I go to springs. This weekend's a great weekend to get into nature because it's that high growth season, summer season. I'm going to go to the beach for a couple of days personally and get connected to the water and the land and the initiation of the animals and spirits there. So go out and play. And another way you can really celebrate the solstice is to remember the sun. We have a unique alignment on the 24th. We have all these planets, 5 different planets connecting at the same time. You'll be able to see them in the sky in the early morning on the 24th. So that's happening this week. We are in that place where the sky is going to be a little darker at night because we're past the full moon. So we're going into that dark moon sector. So that'll just be right before the dark moon when that happens. So the sky in the morning will be really, really potent. So you should be able to go out in the morning on the 24th and see this alignment. So there's a lot to do this week, but the internal explorer is one of your gifts. Exploring what you know to know, what you think you know, what you want to know, and being open. And lastly, it's fire season. It's the hotness and richness of the power of the summer solstice. And it's the sun at its fullest, the brightest, its longest. So if you think of that as solar power, that can be represented by the power of the sun. So making yourself a little spiritual candle. And the way I like to do that is to put some herbs that represent what I'm bringing in. So I've got myself this periwinkle, purpley, very fairy looking candle. And for me, this is a gratitude candle. And so I'm going to put a little bit of fairy food in the top. If you've not done this before, make sure that you don't put your candle in a place that's going to burn down your house. So like I keep it in a cauldron. You could use a pot or a plate or something. If you're going to put herbs in it, you want to put it in something that contains it so that it stays safe. And then, so I've got some herbs in it. I'm going to place some oil in it. I have my little bottle of Egyptian rose oil. And so I'm going to put some drops of, this is a rose quartz bottle with rose oil, and it can be a necklace, but I like it just the way it is. I'm just going to place a couple of drops of oil. And this is gratitude and thankfulness for all that I have, all that you have, our shared community. We are at almost 900 people in Soul Circle, which is the Facebook group that this goes live every Monday night. So I've been doing this Soul Circle now for 10 years. And before COVID, I always did it in person. So we had Tuesday nights live at our in-person location. And when COVID happened, I was like, I'm going to do Soul Circle online. And we moved it to Magic Mondays because it was easier. But I've been doing at least a live a week for nearly 5 years. So even before COVID, I was doing lives. But this Soul Circle was created during COVID, and we're 900 people strong. So we're putting the prayers of 900 people into play right now. We are igniting. I'm going to take a candle over here, and we're going to take and ignite the flame, the magic of the wishes and dreams and health of all of us here in Soul Circle. And you might be new, you might actually be finding me on YouTube. So you can do either. We do a live call at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And thank you, Mecca, for coming in when I've been traveling. We're so grateful to, if I'm not here, we have somebody else that helps. We did have a special guest, but now I'll be back for quite some time. I'm not traveling again until I think August. So I'll be here on Mondays. And then if you miss it, there's always a chance to go to the YouTube channel. And we actually just put up a really cool meditation that I did at a waterfall at Mount Shasta. So there's good reasons to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But if you are finding us on the YouTube channel and you want to watch this live, then it's Soul Circle Facebook group. But in the meantime, I want to do a little prayer for the planet. The planet is having, I consider this kind of her birthday. She is in fullness. She is in ripeness, Mother Gaia. And her power is so potent right now. So we want to thank you, Gaia, for all that you are and all that you provide for us. And send love from exactly where you are in the planet, from your mind's eye, through your heart, down your tailbone, down your feet, into the planet. Go ahead and connect to the grid line where you are, to your own personal Earth Star chakra, and then down into the heartbeat of the planet. And so we're gathering together heart to heart and hand to hand to send love into the planet, healing into the planet on this Midsummer's Eve. Take it in, send it out, and then whatever is being transmitted, bring it back into your heart. Feel it from everybody that's here together, gathered now and in the future watching this video. And feel it come into your heart, and then send it back out. Send it to the plants and the flowers and the leaves and the trees, to every living organism on this planet, to all the animals, the birds and the furry feathered friends, all the different, the fish and the oceans, through the land and the sea, to all beings, including humanity. So sending it to every human heart, and then taking it into your heart, feeling it in your heart, feeling that unification, that unity energy of we are all one. And igniting the transformation within you, whatever it is that you are igniting and the dreams that you are bringing into truth, lighting that up for you and setting yourself on fire, setting your dreams into motion. So take a moment and just see it. See what you're bringing in, see what you're calling in, and wish it out into the winds. Sending out to all that are ready to receive, and then bringing it in, magnetizing opportunities, magnetizing synchronicities, magnetizing soul family coming to you, allowing people to answer your prayers, allowing money to become your best friend, allowing soul family to come in. And also, if you want to burn away and release and remove, we are also burning down and letting go of anything and anyone that is no longer serving us. It is okay to set some boundaries, to create some standards. So putting up an invisible force field of love around your physical body, around your emotional body, to recognize that you are safe. There's nothing to fear. There is only love. And then surround that love all the way around you, filling you all the way to the top and overflowing, feeling your love, your heart, your joy through every cell of your body, into your essence, into your blood, into your bones, into your nervous system, resetting you, harmonizing your mind, heart coherence, harmonizing your internal molecules, balancing your chakras, and cleansing your auric field so that you may be strong, powerful, and recognize your own divinity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Above you, below you, to the right of you, to the left of you, in front of you, behind you. And so it is. And so it shall be. So happy, happy, happy midsummer and midsummer's dreams. May your dreams be filled with fairy dust. May they be sweet. May they be prophetic. May they be filled with love and joy and heart-opening bliss. And just know that I love you, and practice some self-love and practice some self-care. There's nothing selfish about self-care. In fact, even boundaries and standards and creating a solid, strong no can be one of the best self-care routines you can ever give yourself. That isn't selfish. That's part of replenishment. That's part of knowing and honoring your own power and divinity. And so I will see you again next week. And I love you. Have a magical, magical week. And don't forget to make a little magic. Midsummer's tomorrow and Wednesday, the 21st and 22nd this year. So go out, play, make some magic, live magically.